This is a question for Panamint systems. Anytime you see one of these questions, you can do a quick comparison, and the calculations you might do for one Panamint company will be the same base calculations you use for another one. So in this case, they're asking us to determine the activity-based cost for each disk drive. As you can see, we're manufacturing disk drives, tape drives, and wire drives, so we can do the calculations. But the base calculations will be the same used for all of those. So you can always review that, and it can save you some time in doing a quiz calculation. Here I'm going to be concentrating on the disk drives. I'm going to highlight that. We'll just color it in here with a little color. Okay, so there's going to be my focus. When we look at this question, it says Panamint System Corporation has estimated activity costs associated with the producing disk drives, tape drives, and wire drives. The indirect labor can be traced to 4 separate activity pools. The budgeted activity cost of each activity data by product are provided below. So we have procurement, $375,000, scheduling, $250,000, materials handling, $500,000, product development, $730,000, production, $1,500,000. And over here it says what the activity base is for each. So procurement, purchase orders, scheduling, production orders, and so on. So we now know the activity base, and we can make our calculation to figure out the rate per. So purchase orders, we can see that we have purchase orders here of 4,000 for disk drives, 4,000 for tape drives, and 12,000 for wire drives. So the total number of the purchase orders would be those added together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll plug that number in here. I'm going to plug in the 4,000 plus 4,000 plus 12,000, and that's going to be 20,000. Now they have a little formula issue here. Yeah. So we get 20,000. Now we'll do the same thing for the production orders. Add those together, we get 1250. If we take the moves, and I'll take the sum of the moves, and I get 5,400. Let's see. We got an addition error here, don't we? Probably a formatting deal. Yeah. So the total amount is 6,200. That's 1,400 plus 800 plus 4,000. And then we have for engineering changes, I'm going to add these 3 together, and of course we can see that's going to be 45, and we have a formatting issue, which we fixed. Now my machine hours, I'm going to add these together, 2,000, 8,000, and 10,000. That's going to be 20,000. We need to do some formatting. So we get 20,000. So I now have the number of activities for each. We can calculate by simple division what the cost is per activity. So I'm going to take the 370,000. Oops. I'm going to take the 370. I'll divide that by the 20,000. Again, a formatting issue. And that's 18.5. I'll continue that same calculation all the way down for each one of these. All I'm doing is changing the formatting so the Excel can read this. And so I get the cost for each one of those activities here. So the cost for each one of those activities are as computed here. For the disk drives, going back to my calculations, we are using 4,300, 1,410, and 2,000 of each. So if I put in here my 4,000, and I can multiply the 1,850 times 4,000, and I get $74,000. I'm going to do the same thing with each one of these line items. And you can see where I'm grabbing these numbers from right here. Make my calculation, just copy my formula down, and just change my format. Now I can add all these numbers together here, and I get the total cost of all the disk drives. Now I have to divide this by the number of disk drives, and that is 2,000 units. So I'll divide it. And I get 279.57, 279.56. We have a little rounding issue here, and that would be, I'm dividing by the number of units. So I have to take the total cost divided by the number of units to come up with a cost per unit.